Okay, so let's dive into this really fascinating and unfinished masterpiece by Francis Bacon. It's a work that has kind of puzzled and inspired thinkers for, wow, 4 centuries now. So the story kicks off with a ship totally lost in the vast South Pacific. I mean, they've been at sea for months. Their supplies are gone, hope is fading. The crew has pretty much given themselves up for dead. And then, out of nowhere, a mysterious, unknown land just appears on the horizon. At first glance, this island, which they call Bensalem, seems like a utopia, a perfect society. But when you start to look a little closer, something far more radical and maybe even more modern starts to emerge. This isn't just a story about a perfect place. It's really a vision for a whole new kind of power. So, first things first, let's explore the world these sailors stumbled into. It's a society that, on the surface, appeared to be a perfect model of Christian virtue and order. So they're not met with spears or suspicion. Instead, they get this mysterious scroll delivered by an official in a small boat. It's offering help, but also telling them to keep their distance. Right away, it's a sign of this highly organized, humane, but also kind of secretive society. The people of Bensalem are shown to be living in this incredible state of grace. Their society is free of corruption, it's orderly, and they are so charitable to these strangers. In fact, they treat the sailors with so much kindness that the narrator just says, we've come into a land of angels. And get this, their faith has this absolutely wild origin story. The story goes that about 20 years after the ascension of Christ, this giant pillar of light appears on the sea. One of the island's wise men prays, the pillar dissolves, and it leaves behind a small cedar chest with the Old and New Testaments inside. It's this miraculous story that really cements Bensalem as a society where divine favor is absolutely central to who they are. Okay, so we've established this pious, orderly society. But that's just the surface. Behind all that piety lies the island's true purpose, and really, its engine. This is just an astonishing mission statement. This is from a place called Solomon's House, which is basically a state-funded research institution. Its goal isn't worship or politics, it's about knowledge, power, and achieving total mastery over nature, for the good of humanity. What Bacon was dreaming up here was, well, it was like a mix of a national laboratory, a university, and a modern tech incubator all rolled into one. I mean, they have these massive underground caves where they're doing everything from creating artificial metals to trying to prolong life. The sheer scale of their scientific ambition is just immense, right? It covers everything from the depths of the Earth all the way up to the sky. These huge towers are used to study meteors, wind, and rain. They even have hermits living up there making specific observations. And the list just keeps going. It's incredible. It shows a society laser-focused on systematically mastering every single piece of the natural world. They're working on genetic engineering, weather control, submarines, powerful new explosives. They even have houses for creating illusions and, as Bacon puts it, deceits of the senses. And this is what makes it feel so modern. It's an organized, almost industrial approach to innovation. It's not about some lone genius tinkering in a lab. No, it's a collaborative, systematic process with a really clear hierarchy of specialized roles for all the scientists who are all working towards the same goal. So all of this looks like a perfect scientific society. But that brings up a really crucial question. Yeah, is utopia even the right label? Because when we compare Bacon's vision to the most famous utopia of them all, Thomas More's Utopia, written about a century earlier, some really profound differences pop up. And they seriously challenge whether New Atlantis is a utopia at all. Okay, so here's the absolute crucial difference. More's utopia is all about perfecting society by getting rid of vice, especially pride, through social engineering. But Bacon? He's focused on perfecting a system for doing science. You could almost say that in Bensalem, society exists to serve science, not the other way around. And this leads to this fundamental clash of ideals. More's society is perfect, and because it's perfect, it's unchanging. It's done. Bacon's society, on the other hand, is all about the constant, never-ending quest for new knowledge and new power. It is built for progress. The scholar Sandra Dregemar really nails it with this point. It's a core contradiction, right? The very idea of progress, which is everything to Bacon's vision, completely undermines the whole concept of a static, perfect utopia. Why would a perfect world need to innovate? Lore's vision was super egalitarian, identical cities, no private property, all designed to stamp out pride. Bacon's world, though, not so much. It creates a very clear hierarchy. You have this powerful, privileged class of scientists at the top, and then you have everybody else. And here's the kicker. These scientists operate in secret. They take an oath of secrecy, and they are the ones who decide what knowledge gets shared with the public and even with the state. This gives them this immense power that's totally separate from any political or religious authority on the island. So let's get to the final piece of the puzzle and see how this 400-year-old unfinished story actually ended up shaping our world. You see, the vision for Solomon's house wasn't just some fantasy. It directly inspired the creation of real scientific organizations. The Royal Society in London, which is one of the oldest and most prestigious scientific institutions in the world, was founded explicitly on Bacon's principles. And this is the key takeaway. New Atlantis is less of a blueprint for a perfect utopia and more of a proposal for how organized, state-sponsored science could work, how it could be an engine for human progress, no matter what kind of political system it's in. And maybe the most fitting part of the whole story is that Bacon never actually finished it. The text just stops. It's an open-ended project, a vision of the future that's left for other people to complete, which is a lot like science itself, isn't it? And that really leaves us with a final thought for today. In a world that has been profoundly shaped by Bacon's legacy of organized science, from government labs to corporate R&D, what are the grand challenges, the all things possible, that we should be tackling right now?